Hello and welcome back to Celeste on PlayFrame.
Hello, everyone. It's back to the ghoosts.
Back to the ghoosts. You've
Yet
had
again.
a week and we've had mealtime.
An hour, basically, or less.
Yeah. Maybe less. We got food and now we're ready to go for more.
Yes.
Oh no.
We are ready for ghoosts, and ghoosts are clearly ready for us.
Great. Ah!
Oh no.
And I am clearly ready for more practice.
I have missed the ghoosts.
Have you missed the ghoosts?
I have. It's
They
been
are
a while.
so cute.
They're very adorable.
All right. All right.
We can ascribe cuteness to them, unlike many of the other hazards we've encountered in the meantime.
It's true. Okay.
There you go.
Oh, hey, I did it.
Look at you go.
Okay,
Zooming
I
through
did
the
a
ghoosts.
timing thing.
They're going to be no problem at all.
Really?
There will be more timing things, for sure. It's because ghoosts,
Ghoosts are... Yikes.
they are
Frequently
all
time
about
independent.
time.
I'm pretty sure when I hit that ghoost right there, it did a little jiggle. I'm gonna do it intentionally just because I thought it was cute.
A little bit of a
It's
shake.
a little jiggle. How is it that every time I set down the controller for more than 5 minutes, I forget how to use the jump button in conjunction with the dash? Oh my gosh, me.
That's just a difference of experience, I think. Like, you've gotten it to where you can... Each new time you pick up the controller and start playing again, you can start recalling the experience and the skill that you have picked up fairly quickly. It may take you a little time to warm up, but you have built up some skills and some familiarity, and you can get it back pretty quick.
Yeah?
But,
That's cool
but I
to
think
know.
Not like I'm guessing, but it seems very much to me like you are in a phase of mastery where you will kind of short-term still forget. Like if a half hour
yeah.
passes and you start playing again, you will need to kind of warm back up again. But you can get back there, and with more practice and experience and skill, to where it is just fully riding a bike and something that you're just used to doing all the time. You won't even really have the warm up. It'll just be like, oh no, we're good. Let's go.
You know what I bet I couldn't do without a warm-up? Riding a bike.
Yeah, probably. Same here. I haven't ridden a bike in a while.
Speech. I think the last time I rode a bike was freshman year of university, before we actually were in the dorms. My roommate and I went around campus on bikes to see if we could bike around instead of walking.
How did it go?
No.
No.
No. She could have done, but she was all like athletic and a swimmer and an athletic person, and I was not. So, like, the city we went to the university in had hills,
There were a lot of hills.
and just was not a good place for me to try and get that memory and strength back.
Yeah, I definitely haven't ridden a bike in a very long time either.
It was something that my sister and I did all the time when we were kids,
Well, yeah, I think...
but
I suspect for most people, well, maybe not for most, but I suspect for a lot of people, it's a thing that you do a lot as a kid, and then depending on how your lifestyle goes, like, once you are legally allowed to drive, odds of riding a bike go down considerably depending on where you live
yeah,
and how viable using a bike to get around for real life activity is in
That's
that area.
fair. I know a lot of folks bike around the city
Yeah.
instead of driving because, like, yeah,
But we didn't live around a city, like, starting growing up, so, like, the car
Certainly
was
did
actually how
not.
you got places.
yeah. Interesting and challenging.
Indeed.
Oh boy, Maddie. Yep.
Nope. Going through one of the diagonal angles definitely seems like the way to go, since that's
Yeah.
the time where the ghosts are spending the least time. Well, I say that, but
Nah, I think you're correct. At least that feels right to me.
yeah. There you go. Perfect. Yes. Just
took
needed
some-
that silence for a
yeah.
moment to concentrate.
Took a little bit of time sitting and thinking, and it's weird because I couldn't even do like conscious timing. I just,
Sometimes you gotta feel it out.
yeah.
Yeah, the ghoosts definitely require a degree of feeling it out, which you're actually, like, you're kind of held back a little bit by our format, by the fact that you have to actually concentrate on other things and can't just feel the timing out and internalize it as easily.
Yeah, that's probably true to a certain extent.
Just a little bit. So the really nice thing about this whole playthrough thing is, we're already seeing the rewards of it, but even when you're done with this here, you will have developed so much more familiarity and comfort with a controller. And so many more gaming experiences will be, like, accessible and available to you should you choose to take advantage of that.
Should you choose to accept them.
Yeah.
Ah, no, why? Maddie, no! Ah!
Like, you'll have conquered one of the hardest 2D platformers out there, so really there's no reason any other one would stop you. And what's more, with your comfort with a controller, really just about any game experience that requires a controller will be no problem for you. Do you have any...
I love how you're saying this while I just eat it over and over and over.
It's Celeste, everyone does.
I'm clearly showing the mastery that you're talking about.
I know.
Like, clearly. So masterful.
So once you are done getting past all of the ghoosts and then the rest of the game, do you have any other games that you are interested in exploring with your new controller mastery?
So this is weird, but I think I want to try something kind of scary.
Yeah?
Not like really scary, because I'm not sure I could handle that. But
Mildly scary.
maybe?
Scary how, though? There's lots of kinds of scary.
Yeah, I know. That's part of what I was just thinking as I said it. I'm not entirely sure scary how. Because this is pretty scary.
A little bit. It's intimidating. Indeed. Nope. Ghosty say no.
Ghosties, no.
Ghosty say get out of my house.
Well,
In a basketball sense.
I don't know what sense that is.
Just sort of in a,
Ow! I keep on hitting that one spot.
someone attempting a shot and you just sort of like, just block the ball, just swat the ball out of hand.
Ah,
Reject their attempt at the basket. I played basketball briefly in high school, so
briefly.
There's
You
a-
played basketball for years in high school.
I guess I actually did for quite a while now. It feels brief, just
I mean,
in larger
yeah.
perspective now.
Because
But
it
so
was
did high
only
school
like,
feel brief, I guess, in retrospect. But
yeah. You played for all of high school, didn't you?
that's true. Granted, like, that's not an accomplishment. It was such a small school that if you were like, if you wanted to be on the basketball team, then congratulations, you are on the basketball team.
Right. But you did actually play in
Yeah.
actual games.
That's true.
And you were so cute in your little uniform.
Which has no bearing on whether I was any good.
What?
I was fine.
No.
Looked
It
fine in
has-
the uniform, though.
Has every bearing. Trust me. I
Depends
know
on
this.
who's watching, I suppose.
Me.
Others ostensibly as well. And I don't know that they held the same opinion as you clearly did. But I'm glad that you did.
They should have.
Perhaps so.
Ah! These ghoosts are so much problems.
These ghoosts.
They're so troublesome. Hey, ghoosts, could you be a little bit nicer?
Be
Like
nicer,
a
ghoosts.
little bit less.
Remember the old good times, ghoosts.
I keep hitting that one spot. Like I'm drawn to it somehow. But yeah,
You want here? I don't know if slower time would help on this, just because of the nature of it. But you could
we
also,
can try.
I mean, there's also invincibility, which is the
Yeah.
slowest time when you think about it.
I don't think slower is gonna help. We're already at 60.
That's true.
The goo seems to get me with invincibility, though. Like I really
Well,
I think it's-
definitionally it won't.
no. I think it's deceptively simple, and so I feel like I should be able to do this
Yeah.
without recognizing. It's basically the same as the spikes.
It's true. It spikes, but goo, it has eyes.
It spikes, but it moves.
A little
and the
bit.
crystals usually don't move.
That's true, yeah, actually.
So it's like an additional marker on that. Plus it's, oh, I don't know if that really makes much of a difference. It's dark and therefore harder to see.
Also
but-
true.
I'm also done with the screen.
Yeah, no, I think that's fine. Let's all be done with this screen. Engage invincibility. I'm just curious to see what the end of the screen looks like.
Yeah, right? Looks like another screen.
Yeah. Is there, so...
Yeah.
What are scary games that you can think of? Not even necessarily ones that you feel like you want to play. Just like when you think scary game, what is it that you're...
Fatal Frame 3.
Okay.
Like that was our first scary game.
Ours was 2, but
2?
Yes.
Crimson Butterfly, right?
Yes.
I don't know why I always think it's 3.
I don't know either.
That's
2
weird.
is the best one that
2
I've
is so
played.
good.
I don't know. I've played 1 through
4?
Maybe just 3 actually.
I think 4.
Maybe 4 as well. I can't remember it. But 2 is the one I liked.
Yeah. 3 was okay, but it didn't have the same, like, level of spooks that...
I don't know, I can't tell exactly what it is about 2 that worked for me in ways the other ones didn't, but 2 definitely did.
I feel like 3 got so far into, like...
I barely remember 3.
Exactly. But it had this, like, 2 worlds kind of thing going on that wasn't super interesting to me.
Huh.
You kept on leaving the scary place. You only went to the scary place in your dreams or something like that.
Oh, all right, that does feel vaguely familiar, right? And in 2, you were stuck in it, and maybe there were some little areas of it that weren't quite as scary. But you were never left, you were never safe from the scary. The scary could arrive at any moment and pounce on you.
Yeah, I think that was part of it.
Yeah, I think that would actually make a big difference. And there was just something about the 2, like, the story of 2, like, I don't know how I'd feel about it now, but it worked for me at the time, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't really play scary games very often.
It's not something we've ever really leaned into hard.
Like, I enjoy them. I enjoy the tension of them, but, like, I usually play games to relax, so I don't seek them out for the reason I'm usually sitting down to play a game. I don't often... A scary game's not gonna scratch the itch I'm going for, but I still enjoy it when I go to it specifically for what it's doing.
Right. And so often we're playing games now for the channel rather than to relax.
Also that. Although, I mean, scary games work pretty well for Let's Play, as I understand it.
Right. And we don't really play games, like, you're not playing a lot of stuff for relaxation purposes. So
True.
Maybe it's something you could consider if you wanted to.
That's true. No, I would not be opposed to doing... Like, we kind of missed the window on the for the Halloween stuff. Maybe next year we'll aim for October scary stuff a bit more, perhaps.
There was something... What on earth was Maddie thinking I was going to do?
What's your game plan here?
I guess I would see it if I was going through these the way you were meant to go through them.
I guess, like, what you're doing is, like, she's forcing you to engage with each side of the room a little bit.
But why
it feels a little nonsensical in terms of what she's trying to do, though. Yeah. Seems like she's just making more work for you, frankly.
And at this point, even invincibility isn't going to help me. I've got to turn on, like, multiple dashes or something.
Yay! Farewell, ghoosts. It was good to see you again.
I hope Mr. Oshiro is okay.
Why? He treated you like garbage.
Only half the time. Yeah, but I still care about him. And you didn't have to snap at him like you did.
Whatever.
I mean it. You're way too aggressive.
Well, you put too much energy into bad people who will just end up hurting you.
Which is why she's so aggressive. Because she's trying to protect you.
Yeah.
Mr. Oshiro isn't a bad person. He's a bad ghost. I mean...
He transformed into a monster. He tried to hurt you. And now you're defending him?
Oh, that actually hits home a little. Ouch. I'm not defending him. I'm on your side here. I'm mad at him too. I might still be in that hotel if you hadn't forced the issue. But I still hope he's all right.
Okay. I'm sorry for snapping at Mr. Oshiro.
Thanks. It's in the past now.
Look at us making up stage by stage.
Yeah. All right, let's let's get some stuff back.
Yes, and just in time for Bluegrass Land.
Yeah, but I feel like this might not be.
Cats, please quit fighting.
Well, okay.
Learn from the game.
Exactly, kittens. Gwynny and Prinny are very close, and they like to snuggle together.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever talked about like how getting. Well, we probably have at some
about
point.
getting
so
them?
like Gwynny and Prinny are like we had Kaylee first, and we thought, oh, like
She
our
needs a
cat needs
friend.
companions. So we ended up going out to like get another cat at a shelter, and we were having a really hard time picking between these two cats, like a larger white one, and
We were
a
actually
really timid little tabby one who was.
We actually weren't picking it between Prinny and Gwynny.
Were we not?
No. We were picking between Gwynny, who was super sweet and friendly, but only about 12 weeks, and a couple of other kittens. There was another litter of kittens that were in the shelter, and they were a little bit older. Maybe Gwynny was only 8 weeks, and they were 12. They were a bit closer to Kaylee's age, and so we thought maybe one of them would be better as a companion. But then Gwynny only had one cage mate, and that was Prinny. And she was this cute, tiny little, super timid, super shy, huge eyes, tiny face cat. And they were already friends.
Yeah, they were already snuggling and like clearly kind of bonded. So we ended up going with taking the two of them.
We ended up sitting in the shelter for 45 minutes while they wanted to close, and then they said, the kittens are buy one, get one half off.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to get rid of us, clearly. But it worked.
Yes.
Because we left with two. And
sure did.
one thing we didn't know at the time, which we've learned since, is that cats are matriarchal. And we had Kaylee already, a female cat in the house, and we just introduced two more who were already pretty teamed up. So we basically like brought a rival gang into the house who outnumbered Kaylee. And so we brought a ruler into the home.
Yeah.
Or just a rival faction, which Kaylee was not welcome in. So that didn't work out. But Gwynny and Prinny are both great. Gwynny is just like the friendliest cat in the world.
She is. And I'm afraid we're going to need to turn the volume up a little bit for this level.
Oh, you need the wong sounds.
I do.
Right. But yeah, anyway, all that to get back around to the point that like Gwynny and Prinny are still quite close, snuggle a lot, but Gwynny is very, like, still the boss of the house, very pushy, and will, like, eventually just snuggle too aggressively or bathe too aggressively or just start kind of bullying Prinny a little bit just to assert dominance, and Prinny will make a fuss, and there will be little snuggle fights. It's a regular occurrence.
Yeah, Gwynny likes to groom Prinny, and Prinny does not always want to be groomed. And in those moments, they end up fighting.
That they do.
So we get used to these really loud cat sounds.
Yep.
Screaming at each other.
Prinny is also a
my
little bit of a
goodness.
baby. She could just scoot and quit fussing, but whatever. It's a thing that they've done their entire lives. They'll be snuggling again within the hour.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that cloud timing
It's
continues
still
to be
so
hard.
hard to hear.
Yeah.
Because, in part because we do have to keep the volume low. Like, it's at a pretty decent loudness now.
It's hard timing to internalize just in general. Like, actually, that kind of bounce timing, I continue to have difficulty on a little bit in game franchises I've been playing forever. Like I still have difficulty with Mario Springs, which are basically the exact same concept of a springy thing that you can get more of a bounce if you press the jump kind of at the right time. Or I think maybe now it's just if you hold the jump button when you land on them. I can't remember for sure, but like I always feel like my timing on those is off and I miss them frequently. And I've been playing those games literally all my life. So
Maybe this isn't strawberries. Maybe this has something nice for us.
doesn't look like it.
Maybe we could just go
really
have
worry
a...
it's- Cool. See, that's actually good. I was worried it was going to drop you down to a lower screen or something.
Oh, come on. That's fair. That is a good worry to have, but they've never done quite that before.
That's true. It really only fell to a lower screen once.
We did one time, and it was clear that that we had just come up from that lower screen, so
Yeah.
we knew what was below it.
Yeah, we saw the opening, so we knew it was possible.
Right.
Yeah.
In this case, that's not what was going
Right.
on.
Now that would be a pretty mean trick to have for a blind fall.
even when I can get past that first set of spikes, the next set.
Yep. There it is. Nice.
Right. But even here,
Ooh.
like, what the heck? Ah!
Yeah. Bluegrass gonna give it to you.
Bluegrass is not X.
That we know of.
I'm pretty sure.
I haven't really kept up with what X is up to.
Can I be honest? I don't know who X is.
DMX.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. You don't hear a whole lot of DMX out there. I don't know if he's really putting out music anymore.
I mean...
I think he had lots of, I think he had lots of substance abuse stuff going for a while. I think he's very, or at least somewhat, hardcore religious now. I'm not sure which.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. He's had a life.
Is he straight edge now?
I'm pretty sure he's very straight edge now. I'm not sure, though. I have not kept up either, I will be honest. Hey, you did it. See,
Oh my gosh.
the problem was we weren't talking about DMX enough.
Yeah, that is the problem. Honestly, we weren't talking about something enough. Because apparently all it takes is for me to be super distracted.
Yeah, we just need to find the right topic of conversation.
Yep. What that right topic is different every time.
Indeed. Ow.
No! That was not what I wanted to do, though.
So aside from scary games, are there any particular other sorts of games that you've seen that look kind of interesting?
No.
Nah.
I got nothing. It's like asking me what kind of movies I want to watch. That's such a hard...
What sort of movies do you want to watch?
Oh, shut up. I have a really hard time,
it is hard accessing
making
memory
decisions
and,
like
and
that.
decisions while in the middle of the challenge.
Not even in the middle of the challenge. If you asked me when we set down the controllers and turned off the mics, I still wouldn't know. You've done this to me before.
I suppose that's true.
This is why I usually come to you and I'm like, hey, I want to play something that feels like it felt to play Minecraft the first time.
Ah, yes.
Or I've played The Sims for my entire, for half of my entire life, at least. And I want something that feels like that, but new. And not that. Oh my gosh.
It is rough for certain genres that just don't seem to get... if you're into first-person shooters and you feel like, I want something that feels like playing Halo did kind of back in the day. Well, I can't get you that exact experience, for sure, because that was just a window in time, and honestly, it's a window of time that's kind of passed it by. I couldn't throw somebody at Halo today, and they would not have that same experience as those of us had in our school years, getting together with LAN parties with buds. Its moment is over.
It's different, yeah.
Or the game, its moment has changed significantly, as has Halo. But, if you just want something that kind of feels and plays like a Halo game does in a lot of different ways, Destiny's not the same thing, but it'll scratch a lot of similar itches, and it feels really good to play just as a shooter on a controller.
And some of the trick is, what are you going to it for?
That's also very true, yes.
What I went to Minecraft for isn't necessarily what everyone goes to Minecraft for.
Yeah.
That sense of exploration and that experience of a new thing. Are you just looking for the newness, or are you really looking for the Lego builder?
That's true.
And I'm not looking for the Lego builder. I'm looking for that, sense of discovery. That sense of finding and loving something for the first time.
Yeah, which that, is kind
so
of...
much more nebulous.
Well, it's genre agnostic. It really has nothing to do with the kind of game at all. It's I just want to find something that's lightning in a bottle special and encounter and discover that beauty for the first time. And we all did. Minecraft is one of the most popular games in the world because of that now.
Right. And I think it's kind of like wanting to read the classics. What are the things that that just really affect people? What are the things that just people really connected with them?
Right.
I want to play that. Which I guess is kind of how we're here, honestly.
That is true.
This was a big game for people to connect with.
It is true. No, it was one that we did suspect that we would both like, and that would appeal strongly to us both.
So, like, what's another game that has had a lot of major connection for people? What's something else that people have just really gotten into?
Well, that's the thing. This one, it's not like this one. Well, okay, so like this game will like top plenty of Game of the Year list, and in that sort of way alone, that like is a way that that's a metric you could use to see like, okay, what is the game that everyone celebrates the most any given year?
Yeah.
Because it may not be your speed at all, but like odds are good that it is one that meant a lot to a lot of people.
Right. And sometimes
there's lots of games that are that top Game of the Year lists that would not in any way be something that is what you're looking for.
Like what? Madden?
I wonder if there was ever a year that a Madden game topped a Game of the Year list, even though like they are
Super duper duper popular?
extremely, yeah, like there's a reason all those franchise games are like coming out so steadily, and they're big hits. But I'm trying to think of what sort of stuff, like what's going to be Game of the Year contender stuff this year.
Oh, wow. I can't believe that got me. I have stood in that spot.
Usually you've been fine, yeah.
I guess I was maybe just a little bit too far over.
Hang on, let me look up what some of the, like, the, we'll go with, like, the, whose rating should we go for? There's, like, I don't want to do the Game Awards. Maybe, like, the GDC conference. That's a different one because that's, like, sort of the industry folks rating what they're, like, what the industry folks appreciate most that came out that year. So it's a different aim, but, I don't know, let me look that list up and see what sort of names come up and see how compelling they sound.
I mean, the last one that I heard about that I was like, oh, hey, that sounds really interesting, was a random tweet about an indie horror game that is, I can't remember where it's set, but basically the more you break the taboos of that culture, the more the game becomes a horror game. Like, the more scary and cursed the game becomes.
I've heard of that too. I forget the title of it, but I do remember some folks saying, oh, the wind. Not again.
Oh no.
Not again. Dinosaur. We didn't even start yet. Don't get ahead of yourself. Now, Dinosaur, you're succeeding. This is premature, Dinosaur. So the game to win the Game of the Year at the last GDC Awards was actually God of War.
Okay.
Which we've only seen the first hour of.
But that is a game I could play, I guess.
It's true. Let's see, what else?
Hey, Prinny. Lap's not open. Sorry, sweetheart. I'm playing games. I can't hold you and pet you.
No time, Prinny. There's video games.
And scratch your very, very itchy face. Because you always have a very itchy face. And you always want to be pet. Shoot. Hey, Wind. I don't like you.
So it's like some previous years. Overwatch has won Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Stuff like No Man's Sky wins Innovation Awards.
I love No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
And that's even before they made it better. Like, daggum. What?
Firewatch won Best Debut. That's fitting.
Firewatch is great. Yeah,
Firewatch is great.
But I've seen you play it.
Yes, no, you've seen that one already.
Yeah. So much of the greatness of that is in the experience of the narrative.
For sure.
That.
Similarly with like Uncharted 4 winning Best like technology. It is very much a narrative thing though, and one you've seen.
Oh yeah. Daggum. This is rough.
It's rough stuff. These wins.
I am glad that we are moving through each of these as like a remember this, but also fairly quickly.
Yes. I agree. Ooh, this is interesting. Actually, I just found a wiki page for listing what all won Game of the Year since the Game Developers' Choice Awards started. And this is actually an interesting look through the history, because it started in the year 2000. So they've been going for almost 20 years now on this list.
Wow.
And scanning through it, it's a very interesting list.
The part of me that remembers like celebrating New Year's 1999 is very, very disturbed by you saying that's almost 20 years. You're not wrong. It's just, I was a teenager.
Heck, New Year's 1999. Well, no, okay, I guess it depends on which which side of the 90 of the new year you're counting from.
What do you mean? Oh.
I was about to say that already passed, but yes.
Yeah, no.
So the very first one, and this one's actually very interesting to me, in year 2000. Y'all guess, what was the very first game to win Game of the Year at
In
GDC?
2000.
In the year 2000. It's an extremely deserving winner. It's just like, it's a really neat one to be the first one.
I was not much into games at that point in time.
That's sort of fitting for this one because the winner was The Sims.
Oh, hey.
Which is perfect. Like, because like, and The Sims is like this really interesting like it's not a sleeper hit, it's a massive hit, and it's really extremely good game that we like. I feel like our gaming culture just sort of ignores a lot of the time. Just like it's just very rarely in our conversations, but it's massive and it is genuinely great.
I think it is like a lot of other games that are super popular with a particular audience. There is a huge world of Let's Play out there. There are so many Sims YouTubers. There are people who make money off of Sims creative custom content.
Yeah.
Like, and there have been for years.
It's true.
There's so much out there, but like Madden or like the fighting game scene, like the racing game scene, like so many different scenes. There's I don't know. It's different.
It is different, but that's the thing. Like there are certain scenes that like the general gaming culture is more in tune with and aware of the existence of, and like the fighting game scene is one that they're very well aware of. Like
right, but that kind of brings about the question, like, what is the gamer culture? Like we talk about that like it's a ubiquitous thing.
It's
and
not.
We do mean something specific by it, but it's really it's a fairly narrow bandwidth of games.
It very much is.
Players.
And it's easy to forget that a lot of the time when that's kind of like when you feel like you're following games and that's the
Excuse me.
It's mini dash time.
Yes. It is.
Infinite dash.
Because Wind, you will not best me.
We're done with you, Wind.
You would best me if but
anyway,
I would get through it eventually.
From that year on, more of the winners are the kinds of ones you'd more likely expect. So, going into the year 2001, the winner was Grand Theft Auto 3, and that does not surprise me even a little bit, given, like, what a revelation that seemed like at the time.
GTA?
GTA 3 in particular. It's sort of like the open world,
was that San Andreas?
No, San Andreas was like, that came well after, but it was kind of based on the same idea of the first time GTA was a 3D world that you ran around in, a 3D city. It was based on sort of, that one was sort of set in a New York, not New York sort of setting. A very quaint GTA by modern standards, but like, holy cow, what a like mind-blowing thing it was at the time.
Oh good, snowballs too.
Yay.
Hello, snowballs.
Wind and snowballs? Please tell me more.
Say it ain't so. Oh my gosh, I dodged one.
That's an interesting one. 2002, Metroid Prime.
Oh, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
actually.
no, I can see that.
No, I just missed a ledge, and it was a perfect ledge, and I could have landed on it, and I'm so angry.
2003, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. That's pretty cool seeing that kind of game. That kind of game winning the, like, I guess I can see it, especially given it is the GDC awards, but like, just seeing a really well done BioWare RPG, but with them making the move into 3D.
Wait. Was that like, hello, Meat Sack?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
HK-47 was one of the characters in that one. Yeah.
HK-47 is like...
Great character.
Oh, yeah. Given, like, when was this? 2003?
2003.
And I'm still able to... I still remember him.
Yeah, left an impression for sure. I'd love to revisit those someday, like both of them. Especially the second one, actually, because that one was made by Obsidian, and they, like, boy, they bring out the best of, story-wise and, like, narrative design, gameplay-wise, of so many of the RPG systems they get their hands on. Night, dinosaur.
Hello.
Dinosaur, what is your opinion on Outer Worlds, Obsidian's latest release?
Outer Worlds? I've heard real good things, and I'm actually kind of curious.
I am too. Especially because, like...
That's the, like, Fallout New Vegas, but...
Yes, but in space.
In space. Okay,
yes.
yeah.
And that's the thing, like, I am way more equipped to appreciate Obsidian's brand of genius now. Like, I didn't grow up so much in the PC scene or in the WRPG scene, like, the kinds of, the old... what was that engine? The Infinity, yeah. Baldur's Gate, original Fallout, stuff like that. That stuff all passed me by.
Morrowind.
Now Morrowind, don't know, that one I caught.
Morrowind was, you did Morrowind?
Oh yeah. But it's a very different thing from those other ones though.
That's true.
And, like...
I just remember, like, I can't call my brother out like that. Never mind. I'm not going to share opinions of his that I disagree with.
All right, that's fair. But
would be mean.
No, we needn't do that. But anyway, all that to say that, like, what Obsidian does best, I think I am now, like, I have experienced enough of the kind of thing that they do now that I am way more equipped to appreciate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to get a look at Outer Worlds for sure.
I never did New Vegas myself, and so I remember you playing it a little bit.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it, but even then I wasn't able to appreciate, so, like, there's a very key reason that Fallout fans like New Vegas way more than 3 generally, or like old school Fallout fans especially.
Yeah.
And that was like a difference that I wasn't really sensitive to or able to notice at the time. But now I've heard it explained enough times that I'm like, okay, I get it, and I totally get it. And now I'm very excited to really keep an eye out for that difference in something like Outer Worlds.
Sort of weird shout out, but who is that YouTuber who's like played through the really old Fallout stuff and like showed all those different...
Do
you remember what I'm...
Shoot, I can't remember. There's a particular fellow, I'm gonna try to find it and link to it. There's a particular fellow who just basically did a Let's Play sort of series of Fallout 1, and I think he's done 2 as well. Hey, you did it!
Finally, I landed on one of those snowballs, and it gave me the boost I needed.
Yay. The strength to carry on. But, like, yeah, who basically did sort of it's kind of a Let's Play, but not even really. It's like a thorough tour of Fallout 1 and 2, walking you through every single city, every single quest, and like all the ramifications of all the choices you can make in every single one, and how differently they play out, and what changes that makes in the future for your character and for the world and all that. Like, just an exhaustive tour, basically, of what every choice means in those games, which really helps you, like, if you're not able to really play those games, and I have a really hard time playing and enjoying Infinity Engine games, as I don't enjoy the play of them.
Yeah.
But if you just want to appreciate what they were doing, though, like, that series was great. Yeah, I'll try to find it and link to it below. It's because it was really neat.
Arg!
2004, Half-Life 2, that tracks.
Also, you said tour funny.
Did I?
You said tour.
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 It was funny.
Huh.
It was, like, more southern than you usually sound.
Yeah, every now and then, like, a southern accent just barely sneaks into one of my words. And it's not the use of y'all. Like, I'm using y'all consciously. Like, I didn't use y'all very often.
When we were younger, yeah.
When I was younger, and I started actively using it more in adulthood when I was not in the South, because I was like, oh, this is actually a really useful word. We should all use this.
Yeah, I find it an interesting choice of yours, and that's fine. I think it's great for you.
It's very inclusive.
It is. I actively don't use it because you is also plural.
It's true. But y'all is so, like, rustically charming.
Yes. Yes, it is.
2005, Shadow of the Colossus, very good. Good work, game developers in the conference.
Oh, yeah.
2006, Gears of War, that's an interesting one, because, like, that's one that it's easy to forget what made that seem like more of a big deal at its time. Well,
the first Gears was like, oh my gosh, cover mechanics, right?
Yeah.
Like,
there's something about it felt like just, like, the control felt really good. Like, really sharp for a, like, Halo did as well for a, I guess it was, like, one of the early third-person shooter big successes on the
Halo?
on console and stuff. Or no, the Gears of War was.
Ah.
And just so much of it in its design just felt so like viscerally correct in the way you controlled things and in the way they looked. And just, yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that winning.
Yeah. Hey, can we talk about this for a second?
Yes.
Because I am getting it a certain distance.
That's...
And I'm losing it. What am I doing something wrong here?
I don't think so. I think you're like...
Is it just real tough?
Yeah, like the thing you're trying to do where you're like getting it up to the right height and then trying to grab onto the side of it, I think is correct.
Okay.
Ooh, that's just hard. Well done.
I don't know where we're going from here.
Oh yeah. I think you may have to stay on the top of it for that part, but try to like kind of sneak yourself under that little ledge so you can then make it go up immediately after. That's... Woof. Wow, this is a hard one.
Okay. I just needed a couple extra eyes on it for a second to see if I was...
No, I think you're doing it right. It's just hard. We are getting toward the end. So, like, hard makes sense.
Does.
2007 Portal also makes 100% sense. And in fact, I'd be angry if it had lost to something.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of games that are, like, darn near perfect, and that is one of them.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do there.
This does... No, that's a justified dinosaur if ever I heard one.
Don't make sense, Rar.
Don't make sense, Rar. Indeed. Yeah, I mean, you can Infinidash through this. It still won't be easy, actually, to do, but you could try.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a nightmare. I don't think I want to do
may be
assist
harder.
mode. I think that would be more difficult, yeah.
Maybe. Like, steering this block is hard, no question. Nice. Okay, so if you can just sort of, like, sneak up. Well,
I can't
actually,
go
no, maybe,
up, though.
Yeah, you may be right.
I can't. It'll bump into the rock there.
You are correct. No,
I have to put
you had it right. Like, yeah, you have to lower it so it'll go through, and then you have to jump over and around it. Yeah. Hello, dinosaur. Yeah, let's just... Yeah. I want to see you zip through this. I want to see you attempt to Superman through this thing. Okay. All right. Zip, zip, zip. Zip, zip, zip. Yes. Good. Wow, so... hang on.
That thing.
Oh, okay.
I think it wants me to use that to move over, up, back over, down. Or
it wants you to jump over, land on that so you can raise it in time so that the block you are riding can go underneath and through those crystals. You can go over and around. Yeah, that's... Let's nope out.
I'm sorry.
What a room.
Right?
What a room.
So, where were we?
2008, Fallout 3. That's an interesting one, too. Because that's one that I feel like history's been slightly less kind to in comparison to some of its other... Like, and again, in comparison to New Vegas. But 3 was definitely the more popular of them, and... I don't know, something about just having the Elder Scrolls approach applied to a franchise that had been dormant and thought dead for a while. And just getting to wander around that world in 3D space really did make a big difference. Like, I could see it. ...2009 Uncharted 2. Yep, that tracks, actually. That's like when... Ooh, you almost made it, though.
I know.
Right on.
Sorry. I know.
No, we're in agreement then. Good.
Glad you noticed. Rawr.
Rawr. But yeah, no, it's like Uncharted 2 is like 100% where...
I'm sorry. I forgot what I was doing. This is not fair.
What an outburst. Wow, the audio on that segment, on that little chunk. It's fine. This is why we dynamics process. It's just funny to see suddenly green to the ceiling.
I leaned away from the mic. I know what you're talking about.
But anyway, Uncharted 2 was good. So, 2010, Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, absolutely.
Red Dead Redemption. Wow.
That was good. So, I can't remember if we talked about this or not. So, like, my mom doesn't really play games very much at all. But she's all of her life been like way into horses, like worked with horses a lot, all that sort of thing. Hearing that in this Western game, you are able to like get your own horse and ride them around in like the Old West and stuff like that. That was like, to her, it was like, whoa, really? So
Cutest thing ever.
Yeah,
honestly.
It was awesome. And she was staying at our place for a week or so, and she like asked if she could try it. And like, Red Dead Redemption is not a beginner-friendly game at all. Really, no Rockstar game is a beginner-friendly game. They're complex, their controls are weird, there's a lot to them.
I remember you being like, sure, but you're gonna have a hard time with it.
Yeah, like, this is not an easy game for someone who doesn't play games barely at all. But by gosh.
Doesn't play games at all. Like, she's not even...
She didn't mess around with mobile stuff, or like she didn't just about anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say like she's not even on my level, and that sounds kind of mean, but
you have a level now. I think you can boast a level.
Well, it's not even boasting. It's just like she's not a gamer at all.
Yeah.
In no way, shape, or form is she interested in games beyond the fact that you play and make them.
Right, but because like just the mere thought of being able to have that Wild West fantasy experience.
I get to ride and train my own horse?
Yeah, like not just ride and train, but like you get to catch and like break in a horse that's wild, and it is your horse then.
Yes.
Like, that was super compelling. Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna carry.
I did too.
But you know what? I will finish this story. No, I'm not gonna do that because if it was tomorrow, I'd finish the story tomorrow. But it's a full week, so I'm gonna finish it now. So like that fantasy was enough to carry her through, and she like put in the time to actually learn to play Red Dead Redemption and like succeeded. She like got through all those early missions. She got her horse. She rode it around in the Wild West, and she had a grand time. She hasn't been up here since Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, but I'm super excited to show her like how much more realistic horse having is now, because by gosh, it's more realistic.
She's gonna love it.
That's gonna be very fun, actually. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to commit you to a new stage.
To another screen.
Here, you know what? Let's go ahead and call it. You just hold tight against the wind there for a bit. And
Wait. I can show you. This isn't the only way we could go.
Oh, there's another way.
Yes. So I came over here. This was the screen you were going to stop on. But clearly there's another section over there, and there might be stuff straight up. We'll find out next time.
Seems like strawberry lures. Anyway, yeah, we'll find out next time. And we'll continue going through games of the year. What a fun nostalgia trip this has been.
This has been awesome, yeah.
I've actually enjoyed this. Anyway, y'all, we'll see y'all next time for some more Celeste, and we'll keep mountain climbing and stuff.
Indeed.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.